What's going on, MapleStory YouTube? I'm new to this space. I decided, hey, I'm getting back into MapleStory. Why not make some YouTube content? I come from a filmmaker background. I do a lot of video editing and whatnot. So I figured, let's do it. A little background information about me before we get into the topic of totems being removed, because I know that there's a lot of videos talking about totems being removed right now, and I wanted to kind of speak on it in my opinion and kind of what I felt and what I thought. So first of all, I have been playing MapleStory since the game came out, and I quit in the 11th anniversary, so about 7 years ago. I recently rejoined in June 2022, which was approximately 5 months ago. Since then, I did on a fresh account, so I had a lot of progression. I'm currently sitting on 7.4k Legion, my highest being 253, second highest being 245. There is a lot of room for progression, and because I joined again with a fresh account in June, all I really know is totem training, really, and I have been using totems since August. I didn't really know exactly what totems were until August. My friends told me, like, you should totem, you should do this, you should do that, and they're like, I didn't even know how to buy totems. So I was dry farming up until like level 210, 215, maybe higher than that. It was just something that was there for me. And I don't even know when they came out, but honestly, it's like a staple of GMS, and it's one of those things that they introduced, and they realized they want to take it out, and it's just kind of hard to do that. I'm not necessarily at the place where I feel like if they remove them, it's a completely bad thing. I did hate the commitment sometimes for 2 hours, and sometimes I would feel like I needed to totem to kind of use them, and the mindset of that is kind of really bad. I feel like at the same time it is nice to have them, but maybe not 15. With the removal, they are introducing in the daily gift, the mega burner and 2x coupons, and I feel like that's kind of a big useless thing, because anybody above 6k or 7k Legion, you don't really need a mega burninator, because that only goes up to level 150, and honestly, there's only so long that you need that. Or maybe if you cap characters, you don't need a mega burninator because you can't make any more characters. So I feel like, to an extent, that's just the most useless thing they could have possibly given. I would have taken more 2x coupons, but honestly, I feel like rather than removing totems, maybe they could have just introduced 2 totems from the daily gift every month, just 2, and that's it. So every month you get 4 hours of totems, and I feel like that's not necessarily the worst case for a lot of people, because they will get the totems that they want, and they don't have to devote 30 hours a month to training, and I feel like that is gonna end up being a really good thing. But honestly, Nexon's definitely not going to do that, but I feel like that would have been a good compromise, at least until they decided to completely remove it, rather than giving us a month's notice and saying, hey, totems are gone, be ready. But there's not anything you can really do. It's just Nexon's not fault, I guess, but it's just something they decided to do. Honestly, I don't hate it. The removal of the totem could be good, because it kind of takes me back to back then, when all I really had to train was 2x. There was no spawn. There was, Kishin had only been out for a year or two. Actually, I don't even know. It was a long time ago. It's been a while. But I didn't even train with Kishin that long, and so I wasn't really used to spawn rates being enhanced. But ever since I'd come back 5 months ago, that's all I've known. So it's just one of those things that you're spoiled with it, and then once somebody kind of takes it away from you, it's just like, I've had this for so long, why are you taking it away now? Why did you give it to me in the first place? So it's just something like that. But I dry farm sometimes. I recently decided to switch from a Ho Young main, my 253, to my Shadower, which is now 245. I decided to switch like literally a week ago, and I went from 240 to 245, and I've been dry farming on it for the most part. It is pretty okay. you know, definitely a lot slower. I did do regular MVP and non-MVP, like no 2x coupons or whatever, just the 1.5x. I got about 20% in 2 hours at level 240 to 245, which is generally the same rates because it doesn't really change till every 5 levels. But it wasn't too bad. So, you know, if I popped 2x coupons that entire time, it would have been 40% in 2 hours. And honestly, that is the rates that I get on my Hogyang from 250 to 255 on the Night Troop event, which is crazy good for that level. So I think pretty much what's gonna happen is pretty much everything's gonna take steps backwards, just because, like, you know, no totem, no spawn rate. But with that also being the case of no totems, you have no commitment. You don't have to commit 2 hours of your day. You don't, you know, have to sit there. You don't have to worry about wasting totem when you DC or anything, because that's happened to me a lot of times where I was in VC3, I DC'd, and then I was so worried about losing my map, and it was just so dumb. You know, and there's times where the game crashes, where Nexon crashes and you lose a totem and they don't refund you. They just give you a bunch of 2x coupons. But it isn't equivalent when they do that, because it's like totems are limited, 2x coupons you get all the time, you know? So it's just one of those things. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. I don't think it's necessarily a bad change. I think that they really just approached the removal of the totems in the worst possible way. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, what is your opinion? Do you think that the totem removal is good? Do you think it's bad? You know, I have a ton of friends who, for some reason, decide to use their totems on mules to train them from like level 1 till, you know, 140, 150. And I honestly, I never understood why, because I would always only use them on my main. You know, it's just, I feel like using them on lower levels was always a waste. But, you know, a lot of people do have that playstyle. A lot of people are like Legion players. So a lot of people will use totems to train and level up their Legion. And, you know, it's not the worst way. It's just something that I didn't really see as logical for sometimes. But I definitely understand it. Anyways, hopefully I'll be making more MapleStory content here on this YouTube channel. I am new to the space and excited to create things for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.